Close, it is it.
Outstanding. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds for that. So.
I'll use it laughing. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you before this board. As I mentioned from the last time, I have 2 acres, or just under 2 acres in Fauquier County. Some of the discussion this morning brings up some interesting points I'd like to point out. One of them is innovation in agriculture really comes from the person who doesn't have anything to lose. And that often happens on a non-farm location, in a place that isn't necessarily zoned to agriculture. Many of the potential bills that we've looked at today have all been, these are rights that are protected on places zoned agriculture. Well, that leaves a person who's not in agricultural zoning unprotected by the same language. I would also add that there is an unintended consequence of that. By creating special protections for everybody in agricultural zones, that leaves open the idea for the communities to say, well, nothing's agriculturally zoned unless we specifically permit it. And so then instead of agricultural zoning being a fallback for land that isn't otherwise zoned, now you can have a fallback of some conservation district, which means you can do nothing, and then agricultural zoning becomes a special zoning point. The last point I would like to make, there's been a lot of people who have argued that it is appropriate for the county to know everything that a farmer does in order to approve or disapprove it. I would really like to second the point that Ms. Mineta made earlier. There's no reason for the county to need to be omniscient about everything that goes on in the county. We don't have the resources to support that. We don't have the resources to fund that. That is an intrusion into personal rights that goes beyond what is required. So just to summarize, innovation comes from a hobby farmer. You want to have these protections on places that are not necessarily zoned agriculture, lest you also find unintended consequences. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.